Hello, Aquarius, and welcome to my channel, Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements, looking at your connection between you and the person that you are dealing with and are needing to learn the most from right now. We'll be pulling for all three sides of the connection, so we're going to look at your energy toward it, their energy toward it, and the energy in between it, the concept being that there are three sides to every story. So we're looking at your version of the truth, their version of the truth, and this higher level unbiased truth in the middle. This middle section is looking at what is the deeper purpose of this connection and the best way for you to move forward in order to align further with your higher self. Friendly reminder that these are general readings and they are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So do please remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation and to leave what does not. On that note, this whole reading can be reversed, especially if you're a cross watcher. So just know that if that is the case for you, that is totally fine and totally normal. Again, the point is to take what helps and leave what doesn't. Last thing is that any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading or coaching session with me is in the description box below. All right, Aquarius, let's jump on in. We're going to start with looking at your side of this connection. We're going to pull overall energy with oracle cards first, and then we'll dive deeper into tarot as the reading progresses. But let's look, Aquarius, at your side of this connection to the person you are dealing with and are needing to learn the most from right now. Fate. Oh, contract with patience. This contract card to me is kind of just giving this energy of commitment. I feel like you are and have been very committed to this person or to making this connection with this person work. I feel like you've been, with this patience card, you've been feeling or trying to be very patient, trying to be very open to letting things progress and letting things unfold. I feel like with this fate card, you really see this connection as something that is really meant for you. I feel like especially when you first met this person, you were probably like, oh, this feels like fate. Like everything feels like it's aligning for us. And then again, I feel like there is just this like really intense connection or commitment that you have to this person. This contract could be talking about like loyalty, like this loyalty that you have because of being in an actual marriage or something like that, but it doesn't have to be. I just feel like this is about you kind of holding up your end of the deal, right? Like you holding up your end of the contract, even if it's something that's very unspoken between you and this person. And I feel like you have. I do. I feel like you've been trying to show up for this in the best way that you can, and I feel like you've been very patient and understanding with how things are unfolding. So let's see what this person has going on. This person's energy toward Aquarius. Separation. Okay. Whoa. Okay, so hang on, because that to me feels like that kind of came out of left field. There's reciprocity, separation, and grief and sadness. I feel like this person walked away from this connection. Maybe it was you, but I feel like it was this person. And I feel like what you were asking for from them was reciprocity, to provide you with the same level of commitment, time, energy, love, effort as you were. And it almost feels like that pushed this person away. You didn't push this person away. No, that's not what I mean. But it feels like this person became very overwhelmed by what you were asking, even though I don't feel like you were asking for too much. And I feel like they pushed this connection away. That's a better way. You didn't push them away. They pushed it away. They pushed you away. This grief and sadness card, I feel like this person does have grief and sadness for where this connection lies. But it's interesting because I feel like it was their decision in some way. Like that's what this feels like. It does. It feels like this person walked away and now they're sad about it. Which is like, well, you left. Like, all I was asking for was commitment, or all I was asking for was reciprocity. And it's like, I don't know. That's interesting. Okay, truth of this connection between Aquarius and this person. And again, it feels like it did. It like came out of left field. Like, it came out of left field for me reading the story. I was making sure for a second I didn't see my camera, and I was like, or my microphone. It came out of like left field for me in this energy, so I'm sure it kind of did for you too when it happened. Now, another thing is like, and this is the energy that I could get for some of you. This person refusing to reciprocate or refusing to show up in the way that you deserve, which pushed you to walk away. Like, it wasn't your choice. It wasn't what you wanted, but you were like, I need more or something. But it was still like this person's decision, I guess. Not to like yeah, like because they wouldn't do something, like you walked away. But it feels like for most of you, it was probably them. Truth of this connection between Aquarius and this person. There's so much to this story. I can already tell you that things are not as black and white as they might seem. Love. And then you have unfinished business on the bottom here, but there is love here. I feel like you have love for this person still. I do feel like they have love for you. Surrender with triggered. You have breakups and makeups. So what I'm gathering here is that this connection never really had a chance to reach its potential. It never had a chance to really become what you had seen it as in the beginning, like with that fake card, like when you were like, oh my gosh, like this could be everything I wanted. Like, it feels like this connection never got a chance to really become that for some reason. And I feel like we'll uncover that as we keep going. But with this surrender card, it kind of feels like there was this point in this connection where things started to feel really like there's nothing you could do. Because again, it feels like you were being very loyal. You were showing up. You were kind of doing what you could. And even though it doesn't feel like this person was, and I feel like that was very triggering for you, as it would be for anybody, right? Like, I feel like eventually you kind of got to this point where you were like, I don't really know what else to do. Like, I don't know how to be, or how to stay in this almost, even though you wanted to. But there's more to it than that too. Because it feels like this person had feelings for you. There's love here. There's this desire, but it feels like they were like they let go. They let go of it. But I'm confused as to why. I feel like you're like, yeah, me too. But I know this triggered card kind of makes me feel like there was some mutual triggering here. Both people kind of triggering wounds and insecurities in the other, which tends to happen. So I feel like there's a lot that was going on before kind of this separation here. A lot of things that weren't really fair for you. Because again, with this patience card, it feels, Aquarius, like you were really trying to, be patient and understanding with this person while you were being very committed, very loyal, but then just feeling like you're not getting that in return. So I don't freaking know what happened here. We're gonna keep going, and this is just overall energy. I'll get clearer as things progress, but it does definitely feel like there's a lot to unpack. So let's just keep going. Oh no. Did you see that? I can't believe that didn't fall over. That was crazy. Okay. Overall theme of this reading for Aquarius. This kind of always adds depth here because I got a little confused when we started looking at this energy in between. Love with triggered. You had surrender. It's like you did everything you could. That's what this feels like. You did everything you could to try to make this work or try to make this person happy or whatever the case is. But it feels like it was never enough. Overall theme of this reading for Aquarius and this person. No? Okay. It's all an act. See, I feel like this person could be, it's like the way that they've acted in this connection is not aligned with how they really feel, which, like, I feel like you might know, yeah, because then pride keeps us apart. I feel like this person might be very prideful. Because how they act or how they have acted is not really how they feel. It doesn't align with how they really feel. This energy is so confusing. Lessons are being taught. Yeah, this is because I said it came out of left field. Like, it does. It feels like it did. Let's just keep going. Let's just see what we've got here. All right. Let's look, Aquarius, at your side of this connection. You have patience with contract. This is Aquarius's energy toward the person they are dealing with. They're needing to learn the most from right now. Four of Swords in reverse. See, you're drained here. There's this Magician. The Magician is about, like, you know, co-creation, trying to make something happen, putting your energy in to make it happen. There's the Ace of Pentacles. What the heck? Four of Swords in reverse, Magician, Ace of Pentacles, King of Pentacles in reverse. Could be dealing with an earth sign or a fire sign. So Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus, or Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. The Hangman, see, there's that surrender card, that letting go card. So here's what I'm kind of gathering from this. And then there's the Ace of Wands. Okay. Okay, it feels like you really burned yourself out, like emptied your soul into this connection and into this person, like trying to make things work, like doing what you could to try to bring this connection to that potential that you originally saw. And it feels like you were looking or waiting for like an opportunity for things to unfold the way that you really like wanted them to, whether it was commitment or getting to a certain place in the relationship where you felt, you know, good, or, you know, things were working or running smoothly, or there was reciprocation, or whatever the case is. And it feels like you put a lot into this. I also am kind of feeling like over a long period of time with this patience card, I feel like this person checks a lot of your boxes, and I feel like that's why it really seemed like fate in the beginning. Is it just kind of seemed almost like the universe had put this person in your life, and it was like, this is your person, because there were so many things about this person that met what you were looking for, and maybe still are looking for. But it feels like you eventually had to get to a point, or you're getting to a point where you're like, something's got to give. Because it feels like there's so much that draws you to them, and there's so much that you love about this connection, but it also feels like there's so much that you're not getting. Whether it's in terms of, again, commitment, reciprocity, which I was trying to say reciprocity or reciprocation at the same time. You know, energy, effort, love, like whatever it is that you are looking for, it feels like you were just not getting what you really needed from this person. And it wasn't, I feel like it wasn't because, or I feel like you were, you know, very understanding. Maybe they were going through something, maybe, you know, who knows? And I feel like we'll get more when we look in their energy. But I do feel like there was, a lack of reciprocation here, again, for a lengthy period of time. And like your soul eventually got to a place where it's very drained because you've given so much more than I feel like you've received here. But I feel like it's complicated because there is a really deep connection here that you have to this person. And I feel like that deep connection keeps you going, because you're like, you see that potential, you see everything that it could be, and you're like, man, like if this could just work out, so that's why I feel like you have been very patient, is because again, you're really seeing that potential. And there's nothing wrong with that, seeing the potential in somebody, seeing the potential in a connection, there's nothing wrong with that. But I do feel like your soul is like, like your energy, your soul, like you're so drained from giving, and not getting what you need in return. And I think it's important to remember that if you aren't getting what you need, not talking yourself into believing that you're asking for too much, because sometimes we start to feel guilty for our needs or for our desires in relationships. You're not asking for too much when you're being asked to be loved well, to be treated well. But I do feel like there's something, because you have this lessons are being taught card. So I feel like there is kind of a, I always try to see the purpose in everything, and I've learned that if we're willing to, we typically find it, and it can always lead us to better. So there's, I do believe that there is a deeper purpose to this. Let's see if we can figure out what's really going on. Because, the hardest thing, and I've experienced this before in relationships too, where it's like you give everything you have to, somebody that you love and somebody that you care about, and then they end up like walking away from you, and you're like, what the hell? Like, I gave you so much and was willing to accept so little, and then you're the one who walks away. Like, it can really make you feel very undervalued. It can make you feel, sometimes like even a little bit worthless, and you're not, okay? You are not worthless. You are very, very valuable. But I know what that kind of dynamic can feel like, because you're like, you almost feel like disposable in a way. And I'm not saying you do feel those things, but I think that, when you pour your heart and soul into someone and then they don't appreciate it or, reciprocate it, it can really have an effect on your self-esteem. But let's see what this person has for you, Aquarius. Grief and sadness with separation. This person's energy toward Aquarius. Ten of Cups. What in the world? Because I feel like that's how they see this connection. They see it through the lens of all that it could be. Like, they see you, they see the connection as their Ten of Cups, but there's the world in reverse. Stuck in a cycle of some sort here. Page of Wands. Oh, okay, in reverse. I'm really getting fire sign energy here, and I don't know if it's just because this is a very passionate connection, or if you are dealing with fire sign, but I mean, I see this Page of Wands here. This person's energy toward Aquarius. The Nine of Swords. Okay. Emotional unavailability at its finest. I feel like this person's insecurities and fear surrounding love. I knew we were going to see this card. When I saw the world in reverse, I almost said a cycle of their own making, because typically when I see this, the Eight of Swords, I talk about a prison of their own making. But I saw the world in reverse come through, and I said a cycle, and then I saw like the Eight of Swords, this card pop into my head. I knew we were going to see it, and it's falling right under the world, so that makes sense. This person's energy, and then there's the Star with the Queen of Swords. So here you are showing up in their energy. You are someone who is very important to them, and someone who they do or did see a lot of value in this connection. And I feel like that actually might be the most confusing thing about this, because you're like, well, why the hell did they act this way, or why the hell did they do these things or not do these things? And like, you're valid and asking that, because it makes plenty of sense why you, because I said this person's energy was super confusing, and honestly, it makes a lot more sense. Like, I'm about to break it down, but it's still like, of course, like this is their behavior because this is incredibly confusing. This person has a lot of that they have yet to heal. You know, the Page of Wands in reverse to me usually represents an inner child energy that has been unaccessed, which usually that's because there's trauma that's burying it, or kind of inner childhood wounds that are blocking their ability to really connect with themselves. And I feel like what I'm gathering from their connection here, or from their energy toward you, is that they see this is everything that they wanted it to be. Like, I feel like they saw it as fate just as much as you did. But with this Nine of Swords, it feels like this Nine of Swords is all about insecurities. It's all about fear, doubt, and insecurity, mainly insecurities. It feels like those things really got in the way and caused them to act in ways that went against what they desired. I can relate to this in a similar way, you know, in past relationships before I had done any healing, before I had, you know, gained self-awareness and learned how to address certain things. I used to be incredibly insecure, and it would heavily impact my relationships in a lot of ways because I was so insecure and I felt so unlovable and not good enough for who I was. I literally didn't know how to be loved because I didn't believe that people actually loved me. I didn't believe that people would actually stick around if they got to know who I really was. So since that was the case, I would be the first person to push people away, and I would do it because subconsciously I was trying to protect myself from getting hurt later on. And in my mind, it was like, well, I might as well just push them away than wait for them to leave or wait for them to hurt me or whatever the case is. And I didn't know that I was doing any of this. I wasn't doing any of this consciously. I wasn't making these decisions knowingly. 95% of our movements, choices, and decisions stem from our subconscious. You know, only 5% of the way we interact with our reality is conscious level decision making. And I was very toxic in relationships because I would have desires of loving and being loved, but I didn't know how because I hadn't learned to love myself well enough to learn how to give and receive love in a healthy way. And so it kind of feels like that's where the similar energy that this person is dealing with. It feels like they have a lot of things that they haven't healed or haven't addressed, and it affects their ability to show up for you in the way that you deserve. It feels like it keeps them in this position of creating distance between you and them, even though they don't want that distance. I feel like they actually desire closeness here. But at the same time, it kind of feels like it's hard for them to show up in that vulnerable way because they do struggle deep down. And that is something that, that's the prison of their own making. They have this desire. They see that this connection is everything that it could be, that they want it to be. Yet they're pushing it away and staying stuck in this energy of not having what they deserve and desire because they haven't done the healing and the growth. And I feel like it's so interesting because I feel like you show up with all of this commitment, all this loyalty, all of this wonderful energy to give them. And I feel like they literally don't know what to do with it. And I feel like that's why they pushed you away to the extent where either they walked away or you were forced to walk away because you were like, I can't continue to do this anymore. And it's even more interesting because it feels like they have this grief and they have this sadness of this separation here, but they're not showing it because in order for them, again, this person doesn't like to be vulnerable. They don't like to be probably even very emotional, so they're very closed off. So if they're hiding feelings from you, if they're not showing up the way that they really feel, it's all an act, pride keeps us apart. A lot of the reasons that people don't show us how they really feel is because they don't honor how they really feel. They aren't willing to look at their feelings through an honest lens because it's uncomfortable. It's really, really uncomfortable, to be honest. To actually say, wow, I ruined that connection. I pushed Aquarius away even though I wanted it to work. And to dive into, okay, well, why did I do that? Okay, I might be insecure, or I might have these fears. I might feel unlovable. Okay, well, where does that stem from? This stems from this trauma that I had in my past, or this childhood wound that I have that I've been carrying. Okay, I need to feel that. I need to address that. I need to do these things are really uncomfortable, and a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't heal. which is why I feel like it's hard when we love and we care about somebody so much and we're patient with them and we're understanding, but then they end up doing something that hurts us, not because we didn't love them well enough, but because they didn't love themselves well enough to be what it is that we needed them to be in order for them to have the connection that they wanted in the first place. So, I think that it's really hard for sure to kind of separate what we, how somebody treats us or how somebody behaves from like our own worth. But the more that we can separate that and we can understand that people don't do things because of how they feel about us. They do things because of how they feel about themselves. And a lot of times and I know this for for my own personal experience, when I met my husband, he's being the best love that I've ever experienced in my life, just so kind and compassionate and giving and selfless and just all of the things that I had ever looked for in a partner. Every single fiber of my being was like, you got to sabotage this. You got to push this man away. Like, this is just, this is too good to be true. It's setting you up for heartbreak. Like, there's no way that this is going to work out. And I had to face my own demons through that and my own instincts to not push him away. Because like I said, that's what I used to do. But after a lot of healing and after kind of getting to a certain place in my journey, I learned that, how to give and receive love healthily. And I learned not to do that. So, and I learned that because of failed relationships that I had with people that I had pushed away, or even because sometimes I would end up on the other side of connections where I was chasing in people who would push me away. Like, learning how not to do those things is what eventually led me to the love that I get to experience now. So everybody is capable of that love. It's just that sometimes, there's always a mirror that we experience in our connections with other people. They're showing us our relationship with ourselves and how we need to love us more. If we're not getting the commitment and the love that we need from somebody else, that typically means we're not getting the commitment and the love that we need from ourselves. And that allows us to learn to love ourselves as deeply as we're looking to be loved, which ultimately is going to attract the love that you do, that you are looking for and that you do deserve. So I feel like this connection did have kind of a deeper purpose in your life. And I feel like it doesn't make it any less painful. And it doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt. I don't think that I'm saying like you should just understand where this person is coming from and forgive them and it just shouldn't hurt anymore. Like, that's not realistic. But I do think that understanding why people do the things that they do and realizing that it doesn't have much to do with us can really help us in our own healing journey and ultimately finding the love that we do deserve. So in between this connection you have triggered in love, this is diving into that deeper purpose of the connection and the best way for you to move forward in alignment with your higher self to attract the love that you deserve and desire. Thank you so much, Aquarius, as always, for your support of my channel. I do obviously hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, I wish you nothing but love and healing and all of the wonderful things that you deserve and desire on your journey moving forward. Bye, Aquarius.